back, BDG Nation. It's Big Daddy G.
Nice work.
And here we are at another episode for Fallout 4. We have to zip on outside, and we have to go meet Father, or Sean, aka our son, in the CIT ruins. And I have a feeling he's not going to be happy when I tell him I let the robots go. But we'll see. Missed the little door. There we go. Alright. Map. CIT ruins. Yes. And I'll do my best to cut these wait scenes out so there's not so much waiting for you guys. That hurt. Alrighty. Can't remember. Is it this way? I think it's this way. That right here. Alright. Here he is, standing out in the rain.
Son, you know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
Out here.
So why come out here?
To put things in perspective, I suppose. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really. Are you following?
Yeah, I'm just... I guess in me.
Why refreeze me?
As a failsafe, of course. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary. Are you following?
Yeah, you're making this hard.
Why
now?
let me out now? After all this time.
Well, that's hard to explain. Certainly, it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you, as it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Was it worth it?
Well, here I am. Was it worth it?
I believe
That
so.
one was pretty easy.
Soon, I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future. A future which I hope is not in jeopardy after recent events. Bunker Hill did not go well for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
We got our asses kicked. Does it matter how?
The chances of failing this mission were so astronomically low that yes, it does matter. Bunker Hill was to cement your place as a valuable asset to the Institute. It will now
guess either
only
way.
raise suspicions. And to see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this, they had no way of knowing what was going on. I will refrain from sharing the outcome with the Directorate for the moment. Things are already in motion that this would only derail. Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Well, before I go back in, let's pop on over here and grab a couple of perks. Let's grab toughness, and let's get a bit of health. Alright. And then to the Institute.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
It looks like he's right above us. Oh, there he is.
Let's get this Directorate meeting over with before we speak further.
Yes, let's go right in here and just bang, 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 shoot them all. So we've got Justin Ayo. Who's this little dark-haired beauty? Madison Lee. And we've got Allie Fillmore. I'm going to just slap you in the face. Clayton Holder. Alright, so let's sit. Let's see what he's got to say.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
No.
What's Phase 3?
What's Phase
It's
3?
very important to us. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Seriously? Reactor?
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir,
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well,
Took his head,
he
didn't
is
it?
gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
yes, but
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
can't be
Please,
serious.
everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
This can't be happening. I only just found you.
I've had the same thoughts more than a few times. But we cannot let this stop us. Our work must continue. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
The Institute's a big place. It might take a while to learn where everything is.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
Are you following?
I am. I just...
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like. There's no question that some of the Directorate, and the Institute at large, will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead, for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Maybe I should have said, no.
The latest synth generation is just amazing.
There she is.
Those guys.
Dr.
in
Fillmore.
robotics are
Busy day
working
for you,
miracles.
isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
What the hell is this operation about?
Hey, relax. We wouldn't send you off without the proper information. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
What?
What's a beryllium agitator?
The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
Is that really necessary? I'm sure I can handle this by myself.
Yes, it really is. Not only is this tech sensitive, it's old. Look, I'll take care of it. You just make sure I come back in one piece.
No way. You're not going. You'd be a liability.
Well, that's about the most insulting thing I've heard in a while. Okay, you're on your own then. Good luck. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and they'll get you over to mass fusion in a flash. Pun sort of intended.
I couldn't be more pleased with Father's choice for a new director. Congratulations.
What'd they do? Shut it on me? Oh
Sounds
my
like those raiders
god.
at Libertalia were quite a handful.
It must make you proud to see all
Yeah,
that
what
Father
happened?
has done, all that he has built.
Oh, I don't know, folks. I got a bad feeling about this. I do not want to fight the Brotherhood of Steel. I do not want to fight the Brotherhood of Steel. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to hit to do nothing, folks, because I'm going to stop right here. We'll head to where we want to go. I'll just step back out like this in the next episode. I got a bad feeling about this, especially when she said the Brotherhood are hanging around. I really don't want to tangle with them. I like the Brotherhood of Steel. So they're putting me in a very difficult spot here. But anyways, this is Big Daddy G, Big Daddy's Gaming. Let's see what happens in the next episode. I think we'll stop in and see what we can do.